Hi, this is Marley. So if you wonder how to get the composition right when you draw a landscape, even more if you do plein air, in this video I'm going to show you how I do it, and hopefully you'll be able to do the same easily, if not quickly. First of all, I'm gonna trace a frame. That's what I want on my drawing or painting. And next, I'm going to place the big shapes first. Basically the water, the land, and the sky. So it looks like the level of the water is halfway between the top and the bottom. So I'll place it right there. Next, I will place the bank. The bank is about 1/3 from the bottom. So that's the bank, and the top, it's about the same thing. The bank on this side is smaller. That's all I need. And then next I would place the masses for the trees. So it starts about 1/3 from this side, and then I have this mass of trees, and the same thing on this side. Here you have about 1/4 of foliage from the edge, right there. Before I do more on the trees, I'm going to place the mountain. So it's halfway between the left side and the right side, and about 1/4 from the top. That's my mountain, right in the middle. So we have the water, the banks, and the trees. Now, let's divide more inside this shape to show about 4 trees. So this tall tree is about 1/4 from the edge, and it almost reaches the top. So now I know I have this space where I need to shrink the shape of the trees so they all fit inside this space. So having a space helps you placing the different shapes. Instead of trying to guess, okay, where does it start, where does it end? Here you know exactly where it starts and where it ends. So I placed all my trees in this space. I will do the same thing on this side. Although you don't see so much the trees, there's a tall tree right there, and then the foliage. Here you have, it's a brick wall, not a brick wall, a concrete wall. And behind it, there's a tall trunk. Before I do more on the forest and the bank, I'm going to place the rocks. So let's say the rock is just one mass. It starts about 1/4 from the bottom and goes to the bank right there. So I'll trace this line, and just like for the forest, I know I have to fit all my rocks inside this space. There's a big rock here. It's about halfway between the left and the right. So I'm placing it there, and it's on the level of this rock. So you have one rock here, the other rock, so if you learn to divide your drawing in a quarter, half, quarter, or 2/3, 1/3, it's going to be much easier to place the different elements. This rock sticks out of my slanted line. And then the other rock starts from this rock. It sticks out a little bit also. Now I have just enough room to place those two rocks. One there and a smaller one on this side. I'm not going to count all the rocks in the middle ground. I just draw a few smaller than the ones in the foreground. Obviously, they're farther. It's a sketch, that's why I don't count all the rocks. And even if you miss a few rocks, that's okay. I have my rocks. Now I'm going back to the forest. So that's how I sketch trees. I just outline the trees quickly, like so. I keep checking if I have the right size, height, and width. There are two tall trees right there. A few more on this side. There's a smaller round tree right there and a light green one next to the wall. I will just do a few lines here and there to suggest the foliage. I'm going to show more the trunk right there. There's a big rock under the concrete wall right there. I will add a few rocks along the bank and more rocks on this side. Even if it's in the shade, I'll still draw a few circles and oval shapes for the many rocks on this side. This is just dirt. Lastly, I will finish with the tall trees. I draw the trunk first. There's one on the left, one right there, a trunk, the top is cut. So that's how I draw this kind of landscape. Again, you start with the big shapes, and then you add little by little the smaller shapes, and then the details. Once you have that, you can add as many details as you want. You can even shade quickly here to give dimension to the trees, but I won't do more than that. Shading will be part of a different video. So I hope it all makes sense. How you divide your landscape and how you place the different elements. Here I just darkened the water so we can see that it's a river. The rocks are fine because it's just a sketch, just to show the placement. So once again, you want to start with the big shapes, the water and the land, the sky, and in this part you add the different trees, the different shapes. And once you have that, it's easy to place the other elements and later on all the details. And I think that's good enough. So if you like this video, please leave a comment down below, and then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next videos. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.